My height and build, which is petite, is my main challenge when it comes to shopping for clothes, most especially trousers. I've bought crop trousers, however, the fit isn't that good. Tops with V-necks or crossover dresses are a problem as the V comes too low. I've had breast surgery, so I'm a lot smaller on one side, which makes it difficult. I'm also short-waisted, so fitted items can pose problems. Petite clothing seems to look either very boring or very girly, and I've tried all the stores who do petite ranges but have been disappointed. I wish the Fashion Fairy would come up with a solution for me, as I'm 71 and would still like to be stylish for quite a few years, as I love fashion and clothes. So one of the things to think about here is, like, I can tell you the majority of women, or whether or not you're petite or regular height or tall, find it hard to buy pants that fit. Trousers are the hardest garment to fit a body. And this is because there's so many fit points and it's very hard to get a great fit, particularly when we are talking about a non-manufacturing standard body. So when you haven't got the body that they are manufacturing for. So this is where, if you really are struggling, have you thought about having some made to fit? So finding a really great tailor or dressmaker who can cut a pattern to fit the pants to you could be the best solution. Because then you get them in a colour and pattern and style that you actually really like, plus the fit is really good. And also remembering too that alterations are not a sign of failure. So for most of us, the clothes are not going to fit perfectly when we are in a store. There's going to be some alterations. And particularly, so if you have more of a waist, you might find the waistband needs taking in. If you've got a less defined waist, but you've got slimmer legs, you'll often find that the legs need taking in. Or you might have not enough or too much through the seat of the trousers. These are all issues that are completely normal. And particularly if you have a rise that is not standard, you may also find that it's hard to get that rise measurement fitting. So if you've got a lot of different things, like I've got petite, I've got issues with the rise, I've got issues with either the waist or the legs, whatever it might be, this is where you're going, by the time you've altered all those things, if you even can, you've almost remade the trousers. So this is why thinking about either learning to make them yourself or getting somebody else to make some for you, because once you have a pattern cut, you can make those pants over and over again. The cost starts to go down. Also look at things that have stretch in them. So fabrics that have some stretch are going to be a little bit easier to fit than fabrics that have zero stretch. So always thinking about that too. And look more widely than just your local stores, because yes, your local stores may have a small amount of petite, but the internet is a big place. And even places like Etsy, where people will make things for you, could be good that if you can give length measurements and things like that. And there are more and more, search up made to measure. There are more places these days where they have a style of garment, but then you can say, I want it X long and I want it, like you can give them, it's not a completely constructed for you garment as far as that they've got a pattern and you're just following that pattern, but they can adjust the pattern to make it fit better for you. So I would be looking up made to measure designs as well. So they are some options, but I know fit is really difficult, and particularly when you're petite or plus size or tall or just have a large bust, or there's just something about your body, it's not manufacturing standard, and we're all humans and we're all unique and there's nothing wrong with you. Manufacturing is just about getting a garment on the as many bodies as possible, not necessarily making it look great. So I know, and things like wrap tops and things. So you can I sell a thing called a B-string, which you attach to your bra and it goes over the top. So if you're wearing something a bit low, that's cut a bit low, like a V or a crossover, it's not going to expose your bust. So, there are solutions to all these things. Also too is you could, like put in closures and things as well. But yeah, often with wraps and Vs, they can be a bit low. Sometimes it might need, because you're petite, to take up from the shoulders. It's often something people don't think about, but sometimes it is if we actually take up from the shoulder. That pulls the neckline up, and that could be a solution, particularly if something is sleeveless. So particularly with dresses and stuff, maybe summer dresses that are sleeveless, that could be an option for you. And I know, look, and if you don't like how girly, and this is where I think so many people have gone back to sewing, or have learnt to sew at a later stage of their life because they're just sick of not having the choices that they want in stores or getting things made. Is the other option. You have so much more control then. I wish I could magic up the perfect clothes for everybody in stores that fit them perfectly, but it's actually a completely unrealistic thing to be able to promise.